We want to thank the Lord for counting us among the living and giving us the privilege to hear what the general has left behind, the impact he has made. And I also want to start by saying, as a medical doctor and by the grace of God, the servant of God, I worked with him over the past 6 years. And in South Sudan, where he had his last mission field work, it's a place that if I choose to go through the whole lot of what he has passed through, we will not be able to document it because it's enormous. We spent time together talking. Oftentimes I go to practice, and days that is not even fellowship days, I love spending time with him. And I'll live wherever I am. Instead of doing other things or other commitments, I prefer to use those time to spend those quality hours with him until it is hour to run back, because where I work, we have a time that you must return. But I love spending time with him because he's loaded, full of wisdom, experience is enormous, and he will take us, we will spend time going through. I can tell you a lot about all God has used him to do in Chad, in Maiduguri, and so on. Not because he wants to tell me how he has been used, but because of those experiences were useful for us in the place where we were at that point in time to strengthen ourselves, and it's encouraging to me to be learning so much at his feet and taking a lot from his past experience. Without taking so much time, I want to put across to us the tributes that were documented. The news of your glorious exit from the world to be with the Lord came to me with a shock that has lingered to date. It came to me while waiting for your return to South Sudan to continue the work. You left a great vacuum in South Sudan that is hard to fill, but we are trusting God to help us carry on. Your track record of tilling hard grounds in very hard to reach parts of the world has left a great mark in South Sudan, where Deeper Life Bible Church has finally found a footing by the grace of God. And this can only happen through resilient laborers of your caliber. Just to recall one challenging series of experiences you led us through, which is the experience of frequent ejection by landlords that had made us to shift our headquarter church 4 times in a row. Inasmuch as this has happened, you kept on pushing without giving up. And that, to me, is a lot of lesson. He never gave up, even no matter how hard the place is. He believed in one thing, that even one soul that is saved in such a hard-to-reach place is a great thing for that place. Pastor Awokoya, our beloved general, he had labored so hard, and the labor and the mark he has left in that part of the world cannot be forgotten. There are many out there who would love to have even been here, but distance did not permit that to happen. I also want to add to it that there are times, one last experience we had, second to the last we had of our place of meeting, because the nation where we talk about is a place that it is not easy to get a plot of land. He labored, his personal money, he put into everything that we need for us to be able to go. Where we are today, which we started worshiping as a permanent place of worship on the 1st of January 2021, which he loved to see, but he is not here to see. It's a place that even his own personal money go into it, and it's so much that it has brought us to that point that we can now say we have a permanent place of worship, a headquarter church, that will not have the fear of a landlord chasing us anymore. And we want to give all the glory to God for what he has used him to do for South Sudan. The new country was devastated by wars with no amenities like electricity and functional pipe-borne water. Pastor Awokoya made provision for solar panels to provide electricity to the church. He lived in mud houses because good accommodation were too expensive, and many other odds that were against the work of the ministry in that place. He lived and he thrived through all of that. I want to recall one experience. As a doctor, I was also close to him. To the last experiences he had, very challenging. But the day we said, sir, you have to go to Nigeria. That it is a place we think you should be now, while we believe in God and praying that as you regain your strength, you will come back to join us. The day we finally arranged to get him into the flight, he went behind. He didn't want to go. Why? The heart was for that land. He made efforts even to call the airline and say, look, I want to cancel my flight. But we want to, I said, when he was telling me that, I said, sir, you did that? He said, but unfortunately, the people didn't pick the calls. I said, thank God. Because we know that the general felt that there is nothing like quitting, no matter the situation. So he wanted to hang on. And that's how hard it is. We can go to certain locations and spend time. He wants to finish that work before he returns to anything called, I want to sit down to eat. As a round up, like I said, time will not permit us to say gone through all the details of what the Lord has used him to do in that land. But I also want to add that through his leadership and effort, he got the church formally registered in the nation. That took a lot of challenges and battle to happen. He also led the church to be able to acquire 8 plots of land. Now we are on 1 developed, and we have the remaining 7 yet to be developed, but they are secured with papers. And he will follow up to every extent to make sure, and I learned something there, he never leave a gap when he wants to acquire a land in a foreign land. He follow every step so that at the end of the day, nobody comes back and say, look, we want to fight over this land. He paid attention to details. And I want to challenge every one of us in our work of the ministry. It requires extreme detail in every step that we take. As I round up, I want to say, during the 2 terrible wars in South Sudan, that was in 2013 and 2016, many were killed. Others that survived are still in other parts of the region as refugees. But Pastor Awokoya and Mama Awokoya never left the mission field. They were there. I recall the day I was in Uganda when the Second War broke forth. It was too terrible that they had to all go flat on the ground because bullets were flying across. You don't dare stand because you will be at the crossfire. I just want to give glory to God that all this labor, and today we are here to celebrate, is not in vain. May the Lord bless every one of us, and may us all keep our eyes on the track. There is a pilgrim journey that must be finished. He has finished his mark, but as what challenge to me is that which is ahead of me. And I pray is the same with you as well. Praise the name of the Lord.